What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Seikima-II. Yes, indeed, Seikima-II Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bobbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Brett Parks, and this is actually Brett's prioritized request for the month of June for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Brett. Hope you enjoy the show. Brett wanted to see me react to this song. It is Seikima-II with a tune called Premonition of a Storm. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second. Yeah, this sounds familiar. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Takum666, okay? And the video has 3,600 views. Well, there you go. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Seikima-II, Premonition of a Storm, 4K, 60 FPS. Cool. Yikes. 7.5 minutes. Okay, so this is definitely a longer song. Look, you guys know how I feel about longer songs. If it's well written, well organized, well arranged, it sounds good, it flows well. If I'm engaged, if I'm enjoying myself, having a good time, not bored, it's got nothing to worry about. On the flip side, it's not particularly well written, not particularly well arranged. If I'm bored, if I'm not enjoying myself, if I'm not having a good time, I'm gonna absolutely tear it to shreds. So we'll see how this goes, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
今日のこの熱く燃え上がった舞台と客席のことを諸君たちは断片的にしか思い出せない日が来るかもしれない。だけどそれらは永遠に諸君たちの体と遺伝子が受け継いでいくのかもしれない。訪れた静けさに 日の一言のねぎらいも出せぬ握りしめた手と手すくり笑いする裏側で探り合う心ぎこちなく踊り続けた嵐の予感に
Trying to rack my brain here. Okay, here's the thing. The song itself, like this particular song, does not sound familiar. But the style of song, the direction of the song, the arrangement of the song. I've heard a lot of songs that sound like this. A lot of songs. Also known as, unfortunately, hair metal ballads. Copy and paste your favorite hair metal band into that sentence, and you're gonna be just fine in your filling in of the blank. This sounds just like Blank's, power ballad from one of their albums. A lot of the same directions, a lot of the same intricacies, a lot of the same approaches. And listen, is there anything wrong with that? No. Okay, you look at a lot of those hair metal bands, and they all follow the exact same formula. Okay, when they would write an album, they would release their singles. There was the big radio hit, which would be the first song that they would release. The record company, the record executives would all decide that this song is going to be the big hit for the album. And they would push that song onto the radio stations. But that would usually be followed up very quickly within a month or two, typically, with a power ballad. I get it. I understand. I'm not a fan of them by any stretch of the imagination. I am not a fan of power ballads at all. But they would release them because they would want to get the other side of the coin. You know what I mean? I think you know what I'm talking about, right? They would want to get the other side of the coin when it came to attracting an audience. They would have the radio-friendly rocker hit first for the guys, right? And then they would bring out the power ballad for who? For the ladies, because they want the ladies to come to the show. The bands and the band members especially wanted the ladies to come to the show. Trust me on that. Nothing more depressing than playing, for thousands of dudes and maybe like a couple of girls here and there. It's a little depressing. Trust me, it is. No, but if you look at it, if you look at the song though, they're doing a lot of things similarly. A lot of the bands did. Very piano driven, piano led, piano inspired. Okay. Other instruments are there to accompany, fill out the sound, add a little color here and there, in particular the guitar, who is literally just strumming chords, and every once in a while will throw a little counter melodic line in there to what's happening within the keyboards. But trust me when I say this, the keyboard is the lead instrument in this song. Nothing wrong with that. It's a very well-driven road that has been well paved with other bands that follow the exact same formula. But as far as musicianship goes, everybody sounds good. Everybody sounds just fine. Vocally, Damon sounds just fine. Not his Not the typical demon that I'm used to hearing, but a little more reserved for the style of song. It's fine. It works. It sounds appropriate. Am I a fan of this? No. If I'm being honest, guys, I'm really not digging on this song a whole lot. I'm kind of watching the seconds tick by and going, okay, is there anything we can do to speed this up? Because I can't wait for this to be over. This is just not my bag, guys. It's not my jam. So, but like I said, it may not be my jam. It may not be my bag. It may not be blowing my skirt up. But you know what? They're not doing anything wrong. Everything sounds just fine. So, let's get back into it. Keyboard solo, why not? Uh-huh. Keyboard's pretty much on now. Interesting. I mean, there's there in the background. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's not really my style. It's not really my bag. It's not really my jam. I've heard other ballad style songs from Seikima-II that I thought were way better than this one, if I'm being honest. It's not bad. It's just it's just not my thing. I don't know. I need to think about this. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Seikima-II with Premonition of a Storm. This was a request from Brett Parks, and this was actually Brett's prioritized request for the month of June for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Brett. Hope you enjoyed the show. This was this was an interesting one to think about because I kept going back and forth, and I kept being pulled in different directions. In two different directions, and for varying reasons. My score kept going up and going down and going up and going down. As it stands right now, I have a score. Now, this score may change. I'm not gonna say it's officially set in stone yet, because we're gonna talk about it, and I'm still not 100% convinced about this score yet. It may go up, it may go down. I'm not 100% sure. So let's get to the score. We'll start talking about it, and we'll see where we end up by the time we've wrapped things up here, and I've dropped the hammer. We'll see where we're at. But as it stands right now, at this very second, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.5. Yep, 7.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, 7.5. What does that mean? Well, a 7.5 would translate to a really good skill rating, because overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 out of 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go, 7.5, really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, I'm gonna start in a really weird place. I'm gonna start with the live show. I get it. It's a power ballad-esque song that escalates into something far more upbeat, something far more energetic, okay? And like I said, the first 2.5 minutes or so, power ballad, I get it, I understand. And as a result, members of the band aren't really going to be moving around a whole lot. I understand that, I get it. But when the song kicked up, and the song kicked in, and the pacing got faster, the feel got faster, the energy and the drive got more prominent. Nothing changed stage-wise. And this is where doing a live performance can be a bit of a double-edged sword. Normally, when I see a live show, I like to say that the live show helped the score, even if it's just a little bit. I hate to say it, but in this situation, the live show was a little bit of a hindrance. Like I said, when the song was doing its power ballad stuff, like the first, 2.5 minutes of the song, I was like, okay, I get it. Everybody's staying in their spot. Everybody's being very reserved, very respectful to the style of song. This is not the time to be running around the stage. I get that. But when the song did kick in, when the drums did kick up, when the bass line and the rhythm guitar line started doing their unison runs behind the lead guitar solos, okay, things turned up, things got more energetic, and they stayed up. So when the solos were done, we were still up here, we were still grooving, but yet everybody was still kind of standing in their spots on stage. The only one who was really doing any kind of moving was Demon. And I don't know, at that point I had to kind of scratch my head and go, wait a minute, I get the first 2.5 minutes, but the other 5 minutes, they all just kind of stood there, and visually it did not help, and I think it was actually a bit of a hindrance. So Unfortunately, the live show in this situation, the live show did not help. It actually kind of hurt the score a little bit. Now, having said that, though, looking at the songwriting now, the songwriting was actually really good. Really good. I'm not a fan of this style of this style of song, but especially those first 2.5 minutes. After the first 2.5 minutes, when the song kicked in, oh yeah, I'm here for that, absolutely. But the first 2.5 minutes, like I said, I was getting, oh god, I hate to admit this, but I was never really a fan of these guys, but I was getting serious Winger flashbacks. Dear Lord, oh jeez. You look at both. Look at the big two albums that they came out. Their debut album and the second album that they came out with. I don't even remember the name of the albums, but the first two albums that they came out with was riddled with power ballads. Riddled with power ballads that followed this format, keyboard driven, to be more specific, piano driven. Oh yeah, they followed that format to a T. And like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of it. And let's be honest, was it all that complicated? It was actually a little more complicated than you might believe. There was a lot happening within those keyboard parts, and more importantly, within the rest of the instrumentation. Drums were very simplistic, yes, but the bass line behind it, yes, he was playing some sustained notes, but he was also moving around a little bit too, along with the guitar. They were both kind of filling out the sound a little bit more, allowing the keyboard to take the lead and take control. Now, once the song kicked in, the piano moved to the back, and in come the guitars, in comes the bass, in comes the drum. Now we turn things up, we got into that rock feel. Now that comes down to arranging and songwriting. It's both, because in this situation, we're not just switching feel, but we're also switching chordal progression a little bit. We're changing around the notation a little bit, and it's going to affect both songwriting and arrangement. When the second half kicked in, it felt, here's the thing, it felt like a completely different song kicked in, but it's still tied in with the first 2.5 minutes. There was still that association. It didn't feel like one song stopped and the other song took over, or it's a medley. It didn't feel like that either. No, you could tell it's the same song. It does follow the basic chordal progression, yes, but there's definitely some notational differences. Melodic lines changed, harmonic lines changed, counter melodic lines changed a little bit to fit the mood and the direction of the song. So yeah, I got no problem with that. It did kick in. It did turn things up. It did make things more interesting. So I'm grateful for those last 5 minutes. Absolutely. Because honestly, the first 2.5 minutes, I was kind of bored. I mean, the keyboard playing was nice, don't get me wrong, but that was really all that was going for it besides Demon's vocals. Demon's vocals on this subdued, fitting the mood and style of the song. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and say it's impressive, but it was done well, considering the fact that the song was going in a particular direction. I've heard other ballads from them. One song in particular that's a ballad style song from them, I really enjoy, actually. Never-Ending Darkness. I really enjoy that song. I really do. I dig on that song. And listening to a song like this, I'm comparing the two, and I'm sorry, I'll take Never-Ending Darkness any day of the week. Not that this was a bad song. Like I said, it's a really good song from a songwriting standpoint, from an arrangement standpoint, and even from an execution standpoint. It was up there. I would give the song on its own about a 7.7, 7.8. But the live show, unfortunately, when the song did kick in, the live show didn't really kick in. Nothing happened there. They were just kind of treading water. So unfortunately, that did hurt the score a little bit, and it brought it down to a 7.5. I think that makes the most sense. So yeah, 7.5. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.5, which is a really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.